Tom Downey here on NFL Daily Live with Chat Sports. And on today's video, is going to get off topic here. We're going to talk Cowboys. Yeah, we're doing it both. Live on NFL and breaking down the Dallas Cowboys too. Some news just came across the wire. CJ Goodwin. Then we'll get to the other signing here. 2-year, $3.5 million deal with $2 million guaranteed. Now, this is a special teams move. CJ Goodwin is one of the Cowboys' best special teamers. The Cowboys' moves have focused mostly on special teams. CJ Goodwin, Noah Brown, the long snapper, etc. This is not someone who the Cowboys ever want to play at cornerback. They did give him some reps against as the spy on Jalen Hurts and ended up working out pretty good there in the end. But Goodwin is going to be a special teamer. That has been his role in the NFL, and from that perspective, I approve. I like that decision for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, at cornerback, the Cowboys have also lost Chidobe Awuzie. Not a huge surprise here from that perspective. I kind of thought he was going to leave the Cowboys. Now, we do not yet know the details on this contract. It is a 3-year deal for the Cincinnati Bengals, and this is a replacement for William Jackson. He's done in Cincinnati, right? The Cowboys, though, they need cornerback help. I like Cheeto. I was higher on Awuzie than I know some of you guys were. But now you look at this depth chart for the Cowboys, and it's Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, and Jordan Lewis is a free agent. Goodwin's a special teamer. You got the Robinsons and Kennedy, and it's not good enough. That's really not good enough. So from that perspective, I think the reality is for the Cowboys, whether it comes now or in the draft, finding a way to add some impact offense or impact cornerbacks is going to be essential. Like, they have to find more help. Otherwise, it's just not going to work for this organization. Now, there's some other breaking news here on the Dallas Cowboys, and I will make no pretense to update the depth chart for you. The Cowboys have added Ty Nsekhe, an older offensive lineman. He's 35 years old. But this is your new swing tackle if you are the Dallas Cowboys. He comes in, he can play left tackle or can play right tackle. So Tyron Smith, Lael Collins, both restructured their deals. They are back. Ty Nsekhe, now over Brandon Knight and over Terrence Steele, maybe you move on from one of those guys. But it's a 1-year deal. We don't know the details. I am pretty sure it's going to be fairly cheap. I'm talking like maybe $2 or $3 million. Kind of the Cam Fleming, Cam Irving deals of old. It's not going to be expensive. But I think from the reality perspective, you got 5 offensive linemen. Or tackles, excuse me. I don't know why you draft one early. I really don't at this point. And oh, by the way, I think Ty Nsekhe is better than Cam Irving. Now, all of the Cowboys moves, we're going to break down for you. So hit that big red button and subscribe for watching on our live NFL Daily Show. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. Link right there, bottom of your screen. If you want to stay in the know as we approach 100K on our Cowboys channel, hit that big red button and subscribe. youtube.com/CowboysTV. Those are the news there on the Cowboys today. Let's talk rumors then. How about going after Kevin King? I'm intrigued by this one. From a fit perspective, as I'm sure you guys all saw, Kevin King was not great against the Bucs in the playoffs, I think is a nice way of saying it. He was linked as a target by The Athletic, drafted in the Mike McCarthy regime, and for what I believe the Cowboys want to do in terms of defensive scheme under Dan Quinn, I think Kevin King is a fit. He's long, pretty athletic, as a cover 3 corner. I think King makes sense. And if you could bring him in on the cheap, you could still draft somebody early as well. So you could go with Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, Kevin King, and early round draft pick to be determined. That's not that bad. It's not great, but it is passable for this Cowboys team. And I think you could throw in any number of replacement caliber corners instead of Kevin King. A Garyon Conley, I'd love Sherman was probably too expensive. Someone in that type of mold, I think, does make some sense. Now, King, by the way, was better in 2019. 5 interceptions and I think 15 pass breakups. You're not going to get that production, but in a more cover 3 style scheme, the Cowboys liked him coming out. He definitely fits what they want to do. Now, I know the Cowboys' moves thus far have not been what you guys wanted them to be. So name someone for me in the comment section that you think the Dallas Cowboys will sign. Not who you want them to, but will sign. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So forget the ad break, scroll on down, and get your votes in. Let's go to Leighton Vander Esch. Some talk on his 5th-year option. Todd Archer of ESPN says that the Cowboys will, quote-unquote, likely pick it up. Now, as you've mentioned before on this show, the option cost is actually a little over $9 million per year. And I will always try to be honest. Sometimes I'm wrong, but I'll always try and tell you how I think that it is. $9 million? It's too much. If Leighton Vander Esch is healthy and back to his rookie year form, it's fine. But for the guy we've seen the past couple years, that's too much. I mean, you could have paid Dalvin Tomlinson this amount of money for, at least in year 1, what it's going to cost you LVE. $11 million per year for Dalvin, less in year 1. And I think we have to be concerned about the injury history, right? Yes, he played all 16 games in year 1. Then he missed 7, and then 6. And for reference, missed games by Leighton Vander Esch in year 1 for his first 3 years, 13. Sean Lee, the injury-prone guy, 12. That is a red flag. So the Cowboys love to pay their own guys that they think they're great, and there are other reasons why they don't win as many games for some reason. I'm worried. I really am. So I don't want to pay him $9 million. Maybe the Cowboys change their mind depending on what they do in the NFL draft. So we'll see. But they got to get linebacker help with Joe Thomas also gone. So what would you guys do? Would you pick up LVE's option? Type in Y for yes or type in N for no. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Go find yourself a Cowboys jersey. Under $100, by the way, at chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey, right? Dak signed. Go get one of his. Amari Cooper locked up for the long term. Tons of jerseys, lots of different varieties as well. All available at chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. And don't worry, folks, put that link both in the comments and in the description as well. A brief trade rumor here as well around Connor Williams. The idea floated by ESPN's Todd Archer, and I'm open to it to an extent. Will is in the last year of his deal, and Connor McGovern under contract longer. And part of the value for Connor Williams being an average to above average offensive guard by the NFL standards is that he's cheap, right? And if you're not, I don't love the idea of paying him, but I do want to get an aside here. Connor Williams, and you guys know who you are, is a lot better than some of you folks want to admit. And I like Connor McGovern too. And if those guys are your worst or second worst offensive linemen, the O-line is not your problem, okay? It's not. You could start Williams or McGovern and be just fine on the offensive line. And I am fully down with a full-fledged competition. So pick a Connor for me. Type W for Williams or type M for McGovern. Get your votes in the live comment section and, of course, in the normal comment section too. Again, you have Tyron Smith. You have Tyler Biadasz. You have Zach Martin. You have Leo Collins. I think Biadasz for now is your worst offensive lineman, but he's fine. And Williams or McGovern is a starting caliber O-lineman. And they're not elite. Don't get me wrong there. Okay? But let's just use Pro Football Focus as an example. And frankly, I think they're a bit higher on Connor Williams. But look at where he ranked among players who had at least 10% of the snaps. 16th overall, 32nd in pass block grade, 20th in run block. That is at least an average starting, and this is across all guards. That is a starting caliber guard. Now, do I want to pay him big money? Maybe not. Probably not, frankly. But you're fine with him. You don't have to have a top 5 player at every single O-line position. That's how your defense ends up being really bad. So I am fine to keep Sewell for a year. I lean towards not paying him because the middle class gets squeezed, but I can wait. If I were to draft a lineman early for whatever reason, I'm going to trade him in a heartbeat, but just keep him for now. He's gonna get you a good comp pick, guys. He's a good football player. So what would you do with Connor Williams? Type P for T for trade, or W for wait.